The air in the studio was thick, charged with the nervous energy of thousands. Evelyn stood at the final podium, the bright lights washing out the memory of the past hour's exhilarating challenges. The scent of new leather and polished chrome hung faintly in the background, a silent testament to the wealth of the prizes. This was the showcase of champions, the ultimate test of estimation and nerve. Evelyn had waited 30 years for this moment, a lifetime of diligent price watching culminating in this single high stakes bid. Across from her, a man named Marcus stood equally rigid, having already placed his bid on a stunning European journey and a classic convertible, a bid that was agonizingly close to perfect. Evelyn's challenge was a breathtaking collection. The Azora Coastline Tour, a 20-day multi-country voyage that promised sapphire waters and ancient ruins, paired with a custom-built modern Serenity pool designed for home installation, complete with smart heating and integrated sound. The pressure was immense, the total value masked by the sheer luxury of the items. Evelyn, the host boomed, his voice a perfectly modulated instrument of drama. Marcus was sharp. His bid on the Italian trip and the automobile was precisely $4,312 under the actual retail price. He's safe. You have the stage. The decision is yours. What is your all-in bid for the Azora Coastline Tour and the Serenity Pool? She could feel the collective will of the audience pushing toward her, a low, encouraging murmur. Evelyn's heart pounded against her ribs, a frantic drumbeat against the overwhelming stillness. Decades of watching the program had taught her that success often came from a single quiet source of support. She looked past the cameras, past the brilliant array of prizes, to the third row where her sister, Clara, sat. Clara gave the slightest, almost imperceptible nod, a signal they had agreed upon weeks ago, signifying confidence but caution against overbidding. Evelyn took a final steadying breath, grounding herself in the quiet courage of her sister's belief. She had estimated the pool installation was steep, easily hitting $15,000 alone, and the 20-day multi-country voyage with all its stops and specialized arrangements couldn't be less than $28,000. Her mental calculations spun one last time, subtracting buffer amounts, adding an inevitable luxury markup, finding a psychological edge. She needed to be close, desperately close to secure the victory. "Host," Evelyn said, her voice surprisingly steady and clear, "I believe the grand total for the Azora Coastline Tour and the custom Serenity Pool is $42,800. A collective gasp swept through the arena. It was a high bid, assertive and daring, placing her right on the edge of the safe zone. The host paused for an agonizing moment, letting the silence stretch until it was almost unbearable, the tension palpable enough to touch. $42,800. A powerful guess, Evelyn. Let us see what the retail gods have decided." He gestured dramatically to the large display board behind her. "The actual retail price of the Azora Coastline Tour and the Serenity Pool is..." The digits illuminated in a slow, dramatic sequence. 4, then 2, then 9, then 5, finally 8. $42,958. Evelyn stared at the numbers in disbelief. $42,958? Her guess was $42,800. The margin was tight. "Evelyn," the host whispered, leaning in for the final decisive reveal, "your guess was $158 away from the actual price." The rules exploded into vivid color in her mind. A guess within $200 of the actual price means you win both showcases. A tidal wave of pure, unfiltered elation hit her. She hadn't just won her showcase, she had swept the whole championship, claiming the luxury automobile, the European journey, the Azora Coastline Tour, and the serenity pool. The stage seemed to tilt. Evelyn let out a soundless, joyful cry, her hands flying to her face. Clara, who had navigated the maze of wires and cameras with an athlete's grace, vaulted onto the stage. The two women met in a monumental embrace, their shared excitement too much to contain. They didn't fall to the floor in a sudden collapse, but sank beautifully to their knees, clinging to each other and laughing hysterically, momentarily blinded by the bright light and the blizzard of celebratory confetti showering down around them. The host stepped back, smiling broadly, allowing the genuine, unscripted moment of deep familial joy to unfold. The victory was hers, sealed not by random fortune, but by a precise estimation, a subtle plan, and the unwavering, silent support of her family. As she stood up, wiping happy tears, Evelyn looked at the bounty surrounding her and realized the grand new chapter that had just begun, all thanks to a final bid made at the very threshold of a dream.